it going, YouTube? How's it going? See if notifications go out. Light bright, Natos. Salty Pirate, Pale Rider TV. Did my thumbnail come out alright? Because you're like, let me look. Let me look here. I want to give a shout to my show. No, thumbnail didn't come out. Great. Just a close-up of my ugly face. Yeah! Nittany Lion, Big Rick CEO, Big Billy, what's up? Scooby-Doo, how are you? Big Rich, Scott. Here, I'll show you what's up. See if you guys can see this. I am playing a James Best. And I'm going live because I got nothing else better to do. Can you guys see that? What's that look like, guys? Can you see that? Look at that. I'll just put that up there. There you go. Who texted me? Probably one of my haters. Oh, Anthony, I know. I know you were just joking. So that's what I'm dealing with. So Steve, why didn't you idle the truck? Last night before last, the temperature got down to like 0. And the wind chill was fairly like around 10, 17 degrees, below 0. And I ran the APU, and in the morning, I didn't deliver till 4, but I got started about 2 o'clock, but I got the truck started at 9. I didn't check my fuel filter, my water separator. I should have checked it. Truck seemed to be running okay, albeit cold. I did 60 miles to the customer, made my delivery, idled the truck off and on, made my delivery. There was a little bit of a sputter, but no lights were going on, right? And then I headed to the TA here in Ohio, and it was hard to tell if the truck was losing power or not because of the wind. And I got parked, bought a spot, and I parked. I could have parked at the Speedway with no charge for parking, right? But I thought, you know what? If something goes south, I got the shop right here, right? And I ran the APU. I ran the truck for about an hour. Ran the APU after that. Stayed warm, pretty much. And then a friend of mine called. Same truck, same scenario, except he's got blended fuel. I had to add treatment because I bought fuel in Georgia, and then I bought some more in Virginia. And he was on a hook and told me what had happened. He said his truck would idle, but it had no power. All the lights were going crazy, So that's when I looked at my filter, showed him a picture of it. He's got mechanical expertise. He's good. I go into the TA. Yeah, it doesn't look good. There's out. Throw some 911 in. You should be good. We have a 10-hour wait. Now, I'm not idling the truck now because if I have a fuel filter issue, the last thing I want to do is be run it. So the APU is working, and as long as I got power and no lights coming on, then we'll be all right. So that's what's going on with me. And and I wasn't even like in some of the temperatures of some of these other YouTubers were in. And so I'm basically doing this live feed to tell you I did something stupid and didn't idle the truck. I did not idle the truck because I thought, well, if it's only going to be like 1 degree, maybe 1 degree below zero, it's not much different than what I dealt with the night before. However, talking to Jeff, he's like, well, it's the wind chill that probably got you. And the wind chill was like 20 below zero. It's like the wind chill warning is still in effect till about 1 o'clock, which it is now. It's locally, it's 2, but still, it's still windy. I'm still looking at wind, and it's still cold. What's the temperature here? This year, right now, it's like 7 degrees. And I'm sure the wind chill is still pretty good. So that's what I'm dealing with, man. I lost my good paying load, going to warmer waters, and yeah, we're officially struggling. Carolina Ghost, what's up? The little diesel 911. Yeah, I know 911, but they're out, and they are out. They're completely out. My friend Salty Pirate is going to bring some to me because he's coming through this area, and I'm still changing out the filters though. Her fuel lines are breaking. That's okay. So there's the other thing. Here, they've only got 2 fuel islands working. I think I mentioned that in my last live feed. And yeah, so I mean, I don't know if they forgot to treat their fuel or if their filters just went bad, but kind of makes me think I'm glad I didn't buy fuel here, because I was going to buy fuel here to top off and throw in some extra fuel treatment. But the fuel treatment's only good for the tanks. You got to have your filters in. I have fairly new filters, but apparently a lot of moisture was in the fuel that I got from the south. But and enough treatment, there wasn't enough treatment to kind of counteract that. And so it's what I've always tried to avoid. Objects, Chad May. Well, I don't know. I mean, that's what I was told, that it was the wind chill that probably brought it over the top. Because I've not idled in these kind of temperatures before, and I didn't have problems. And so I don't know what to think. All I know is that what's in front of me is that I should have idled last night. I didn't. And now I'm paying the price. Yeah, it's only going to cost me a couple $100 to get this done, and but I'm worried about the cost down the road, because I'll tell you a story. The last polar vortex, I forget what year it was. I want to say it was 2013 or 14. It was the winter before I became an owner operator, so 2014, I guess. Yeah, and didn't idle, and it got pretty cold. I don't remember how cold it got, but it was the beginning of the polar vortex. And started up the truck, got down the road, the check engine light came on, not the mill light, but the other one. It was telling me that I needed to do a regen. So I did a park regen. It would work. It would shut off. The light would shut off, but then it would come back on. So I called the shop. They told me to take the truck to the Petro there in Carlisle and get the fuel filters changed out. So we did that. It was only down like an hour and a half, and I picked up this heavy load of junk mail going to Chicago, going to Bolingbrook. And literally when I got on the turnpike to head down 76 West, the red check engine light came on. I was derating fast. And so I had to drive 15 miles, I think, to the next turnpike entrance exit, did a U-turn, and called the shop and said, yeah, head back to Carlisle, and brought it in. Other people were bringing their trucks in for similar issues. It was a T660 I was driving, and they put me in a hotel, and I was in there for a full week. The company was going round and round with Cummins on the warranty on that. Who was going to pay for it because of this, that, and the other? Well, I'm wondering, because I never got the story. I never got the full story. I'm wondering if maybe running the truck for a long period of time with the lights on created the problem that eventually got to the fuel pump. Well, here's the problem. I don't have a warranty on my fuel pump. So if that major of a breakdown occurs, and I can prevent that, then if I can prevent that from happening by just being, not running this truck till it shuts off, we're good. Right now there's no lights, knock on wood. Now the mill light will come on once they change filters, because non-PACCAR people can't go in and turn off that light. And the light comes on whenever there's some error that's brought to the fuel system. So, and my friend that had happened to him, he said that the truck would idle, it would run fine, but then once he put the gas on it wouldn't go. Luckily, he was in a situation that he didn't have a trailer, and that he wasn't under a load, and he was, the tow truck's going to take him to a shop that's near his house. So you got to count your blessings as they come along. So the only thing I did right was parking here at the TA, and and why are they backed up 10 hours? Because I am not the only one that's had this problem. There are company and owner operator trucks out here in line to go into this place with the same problems, and they are busy. They are out of 911. They are out of all the power source. They're out of almost any anti-gel that you can get. And yeah, so that but the thing that I'm worried about the most is hopefully it doesn't cause problems down the road, and that the truck is actually fixed. But the other thing that hurts is I can't book a load till this is done. I lost the load that I had going to Houston that was paying good, and we're approaching a weekend, and most of the shore haul freight around here is freeze protect, so I can't take it anyways, for good reason. You don't want to enter that mess. And so we'll see. If there's a place that I could do shore haul over the weekend, I guess this is it. But temperature's not supposed to rise here till Saturday. I'm in London, Ohio there, Ghost. Didn't Schneider preach that windshield doesn't affect machinery? No. But see, I made that assumption that windshield doesn't affect, because things were fine yesterday. Maybe, I don't know. I didn't check my fuel filter. But where the PACCAR water separator is, it gets all the wind. I've heard of the diaper trick. You can put a baby's diaper on that water separator, and that'll keep that fuel warm. And I guess that's what a lot of the ice road truckers do. Clyde, do they have any kerosene there you can pump in tanks? I don't think so. Wind cannot make it colder than it actually is. It can cool things faster, but only down to the outside temp. Well, Chad, Lenny, thank you very much for that super chat. I appreciate that. That's going to help me a little bit. But whether... No, my pickup's today, Scott. My pickup's today. Lenny, thank you very much. Whether it was the wind chill or the temperatures, obviously I should have idled anyways. And you know, Scott SRO Logistics mentioned that under 10 degrees you should idle. You know, but you know, here's the thing, guys. You know, you always hear about these DPF issues that occur because of idling. So you know, it's like damned if you do, damned if you don't. You know, and you know, looking back, maybe I should have idled, but what are you going to do? Normally, I would have avoided this completely, and that's part of my weakness. Since I avoid this kind of situation, and it's an extreme situation, I did not handle it well. And I've been out here 9 years. This is the first time or second time that I've had this issue ever. And I was in sub-zero temperatures last year in Kansas. Well, that's who I was talking about, CPAP, but I'm not sure if you wanted me to mention. Kerosene will do the same as the 911 stuff. Yeah, there's, like I said, Salty Pirates bring me some kerosene, or I mean some 911. Burger idled his truck all night and it still froze. I don't think he idled all night. Wind chill isn't a factor, then frostbite at -20 is about 30 minutes. Wind chill of -40, frostbite was within 10 minutes. So wind chill is a factor. I know, Jeff. I was going by that assumption that ambient temperature is the only thing you got to pay attention to, but obviously I'm wrong by listening to that. What you say makes sense, Jeff. I'm going to believe Michigan, and you deal with this all the time. And so, you know, Jeff and Chad can argue in there about whether you know, wind chill would factor, you know. You talked to him earlier. Matt Phillips says I keep filters in the truck. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to learn. What do we do, children? We learn from our experiences, right? And I think that next winter, if I make it that far, I'm going to learn how to change my filters, and I'm going to have the necessary stuff on the truck, because, you know, you can't avoid the cold weather. I mean, I had to make money. That was coming out from where I was at was heading up to Ohio, only a good area, and we're having historical lows were recorded that have never been recorded. You know, and there were like, I guess there's a ton of trucks up and down I-39 that are on the shoulder because they gelled up. You know, parts of Wisconsin, I've got other friends that have had similar issues, Burger being one of them. And Burger didn't do anything wrong. He had winter fuel in his truck, and he still got screwed on that, you know. So I don't blame myself entirely ignorance, but at the same time, I might have prevented it had I idled the truck. Wind chill is real. I'm glad, you know. Think about it. If wind chill will freeze the liquid water if If not, there wouldn't be such a thing as wind chill. It would be scientifically irrelevant. Next year, you're moving to San Diego, California. Get some of that California freight there, CPAP. Jeff, I agree with you. I mean, not because you're my boss, but because I agree that because the wind chill was definitely colder last night than it was the night before. And yesterday I didn't have an issue. Today I do. And I have actually more anti-gel in the truck than I did yesterday. So whether it was wind chill or still cold enough to cause the problem. So I think I'm gonna go with Scott's rule and 10 degrees, and here's the other thing. It's above zero at entire contents 32. If your truck won't start, 911, if the engine's running, and diesel fuel supplement plus boost. I can't read. So do not add to the diesel exhaust fluid tank. That's a lot. Wind chill simply facilitates the heat transfer. I mentioned that I was about, and that's the only drawback that I can view. But since it's a generator, it generates enough to charge or fairly large heater, and it actually kept me way warm last night. The space here on high, so there's that. And the HVAC breaker issue I've been having hasn't happened ever since it's been cold, so that's kind of weird. So that's the problem with a lot of trucking is problems are never solved, they're just rearranged, and I know, Road Racer. I need to learn fuel filters. Speaking of which, there's the TA truck now. I bet you it's got the delivery that you need. I use Penray fuel additive, best stuff on the market. I'm in Holland, Michigan with no problems. Yeah, Michigan is, or truck in Michigan is bad. That means if I'm lagging, that means the replay won't be worth anything. Let me. Slow Ride Trucking says an ounce of presentation is worth a pound of flesh. If it gets into single digits, I run my truck better to burn $40 in fuel than to go to shit. No, as Scott, done. My load is gone. My load is gone. And who knows, my fuel filter could have been gelled up yesterday. Driving 90 miles, it may not have, done its thing. I don't know, Salty Pirate. I'll know if I do or not. Go ahead and pick me up some anyways, just in case, and I'll pay you back when you get here. So he said some kind words about me, I think. So check out his channel. But we do have coffee. Well, no, I'm out of coffee. Well, now it's an emergency. Hold on. But live and learn, right? Live and learn. I've been out here 10 years, and this is the first time this has happened. Well, second time this has happened. First time isn't, well, no, third time. This is the third time this has happened. Now, first time it happened to me as an owner-op, it was in the Peterbilt, and I idled the truck, right? But here's the problem. My truck's fast idle was disabled, and I didn't realize it until winter hit, and I was in sub-zero temperatures up in South Bend, Indiana. So when you don't have your fast idle on, when you idle, well, it can't burn anything, and it's not enough to keep the fuel filters warm. So my truck actually shut off going down the road. I pulled in this mom and pop, basically a fuel stop of the subway, and spent the next 16 hours inside the subway because my truck shut off, and it was like wind chills at 40 below zero. When they finally got my truck running, when the road service got my truck running, man, that thing billowed smoke for a while. I had to check engine light on for 2 days, and then after that it was fine. But, and I want to say my thermostat was out on that truck as well. Yeah, Charles, I am losing weight. Definitely losing weight this week. Definitely. So I appreciate the kind words. There's a person that left the thumbs down on my weight report video. I thought that was funny. Scott. I'm not as talkative as Roscoe, who's not even in here. Appreciate, I'm blessed in the sense that I have a lot of friends that are willing to help me. And I'm blessed that I don't have friends that talk behind my back. At least I hope I don't. And I have blessed that I've got friends that are willing to do super chats, help me out. Even though I don't ask for money. I'm blessed that I have people that are ready to step up, if things go south in one direction or another. We're always sharing knowledge, we're always networking. And when you're an a-hole, you don't have that, So I'm appreciative, and I could sit here and dwell in the negativity. I could sit here and dwell on how bad I have it, with this situation, but I'm not. It's a delay. I'm gonna have to buy another spot here. I'm gonna have to buy this spot again. That truck's leaving. Look at these stainless steel trailer. I imagine he's getting like 3 miles a gallon. He idled up until now. I mean, he's idling. Of course, he's not frozen, so. But that's it. That's all I got to talk about is make precautions if you're going this cold. I'm sure it's a little late. I know that parts of Michigan and the Dakotas are still seeing this bitter cold. But 10 degrees seems to be the number to watch out for. And, a little birdie told me that the new Vogels, you can idle those, and it doesn't affect the DPF systems. I might be wrong about that. If so, that's the direction that these manufacturers have to get to. It's like if the biggest problem is the DPF engines and they can't idle when it gets cold, or hot, then you need to fix it to where they can idle. As much as you want to save fuel and use your APU, there are times when you have to idle. When it's 50 below zero, you're idling. Negative 32 degrees in Iowa. I'm not sure if it was fast or not. let it idle at 900 RPMs all night. I don't know about automatic trucks, but manual trucks, when you turn your truck on, it'll idle at like 500 RPMs, and then you bump up your cruise to get their RPMs up, and you want them to be at least 9 to be able to burn warm. You know, get the engine temp up there, and you know it really kind of, and it's that cold, it doesn't do you any good. All you've done is the truck on so you can have heat, but it did let the engine do what it needed to do, and warm fuel is what keeps the filters from freezing up. So now if you have an automatic, I don't know if you can do that. I've never driven an automatic, so you know, there's, I don't know if you can bump up the RPMs with those, but if you know, but usually it requires the cruise. You just hit set like you're trying to, you know, accelerate on the cruise, and then that'll give you your higher RPMs. $1,000 to $1,100, and I think that I bumped it up to the max, and it was like around $1,000, $1,100. So there's that. You can, same as manual. Okay. And if you can't adjust it, a lot of, you know, it was surprising that my fast idle didn't work on the Peterbilt, because the transport, which they are always running in the cold, you know, upper northeast, like Maine and all that. So, and well, I guess they do have APUs on their trucks, but still, you want to be able to idle. And another trick is, if you work for a company that doesn't let you idle, or the truck is set to not idle, one of the tricks you can do is you can buy wheel chocks and try to find the most level ground and just not set your brakes at all, tractor or trailer, and you'll be able to idle, because the truck thinks it's in traffic or something. I've never had to do that, but I've heard of other people doing that. But there are some companies that only let you idle 15 minutes, and the truck will shut off automatically. And when you're in sub-zero temperatures, that could be dangerous. That's a liability waiting to happen, a lawsuit. And so I don't think a lot of companies do that anymore. You know, they set it to where the idle will work if it's a certain temperature. You're right, Charles. It is a nightmare. Are we talking about money? I like money. I like money too. I like giving it away. I like giving it, burning it, giving it to other people. Oh, they have settings where even the brakes release will shut off? Well, that's lame. But anyways, if you guys got any questions, I might be able to answer them. Let me check something here. It was warm in here for a while, but the sun is now. I have to turn the heat back on. Anyways, guys, I think I'm done. Tex Crowley put out his demo reel today. So go check that out. Check out Tex Crowley's channel. Other than that. So anyways, guys, if you got nothing else. So you're still in Ohio. I came in late. Snow coming tonight. Yeah, the snow is in the forecast. I don't know how much we're supposed to get. So there's that. And when it's this cold, everything freezes. There's no scraping the roads. There's that. Thank you, Charles. I appreciate that. Dennis Smith, -25 in Fargo last night. Yeah, winter sucks, guys. That's all there is to it. You know, I avoid. This is why I avoid cold weather as much as I can, and it's affected my bottom line. It's like, but what are you going to do? You're going to take lower rates in the southern areas because everybody else has got the same idea, or do you burn the extra money in fuel and in treatment and possible breakdowns? You know, it's a crapshoot either way. Anyways, thanks for watching. Thanks for the super chat, and you guys take it easy. Talk to you later.